Namaste, my beautiful collective. I am doing a new moon reading. This was a request from one of my subscribers. And I'm going to do a pendulum yes or no at the end instead of the angel answers. So this is a new moon love reading, or it's we're going to take a temperature of your love life, what's going on now around the new moon. So we're going to start off with the Light Seers deck, which is one of my favorites. And we're just going to see what happens. We got a bunch of oracle cards we can read, we can clarify, whatever we got to do. So take a deep breath with me now. Angels, spirit guides, I ask you to tell me about what is going on in the collective energy for love. Okay. Please help me, please guide me. To find out what the collective has going on in their love life right now. What is going on? Please take this reading how it resonates. If you like this channel, please like, share, subscribe. All the links to my other social media and my website are in the description box below. All right, let's start this reading. Angel, spirit guides, what can you tell me about my beautiful collective in their love life? Okay, first card we have is the Seven of Wands. So I see this is you. You are praying, hoping for something. Hoping for something. You have all these things that you're trying to manifest. And you're in your own little world, your own little bubble here. You feel like you got some of it. You've manifested some of what you want in this life. You've acquired it. But there's still stuff that you are waiting for, that you are praying for. And maybe things haven't been like they were, or maybe slowed down, which is making you look in a different direction. In love, in your life, whatever. So then we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Five of Pentacles is loneliness, feeling left out in the cold when it's upright. I feel like you were in this energy, because this is going to be past cards. We're going to do past, present, and future. But you're coming out of it. You felt really lonely. Maybe that's why you were questioning things. Maybe in your love life there was a lack, or you felt a lack there. And when you feel a lack, you only draw in lack. So you have to kind of, it's hard to change your way of thinking when you get hooked on something or somebody. But if you can do that and see things from a different perspective, a lot of times you draw in what you want. And it might not necessarily be from the person that you thought was the one, but it could be something even better. But if you don't allow the universe to do that, you're blocking your own blessings. And sometimes other people block them. So next we have the Fool. And it's funny because these two cards came out in my other readings. I don't know if together or not. So that's the energy today. So taking a leap of faith. Maybe you took a leap of faith in the past with something. And what I noticed, it has an amethyst crystal in this card. I have a lot of amethyst on my table. I have this little tiny cathedral. I have the spear. And then I have in the background over here, I have, it's actually a wall hanging that has amethyst in it. But I want to put it up in my living room. There's a spot I finally found for it. I have a brick wall behind my bed. And that's where I originally wanted it. I thought it was the perfect place to utilize the crystals as a tool. And I have a lot of crystals in my bedroom also. But when I put crystals around the house, they're very specific. When I put crystals in my bedroom, they're very specific. So anyway, I have a lot of amethyst on the table as well. So it's kind of funny how significant this is. And I also have a small amethyst crystal. At any rate, taking a leap of faith. Amethyst is Pisces. It's the birth sign for a birthstone for Pisces. And it also prevents you from drowning, allegedly, if you wear it. So that's one of the things that, and it helps you with spiritual awakenings. Amethyst is very, very good at that stuff, developing psychic abilities, because it's the birthstone for Pisces too. You got to put all that together. So the energy from Pisces, a lot of the protection and positive attributes to the amethyst would also come from that sign, which is very Neptunian. Next card we have is the Six of Swords. I'm sorry. I had to look at it twice. Moving away from difficulties, moving into calmer waters. Lots of messages here from these birds. Possibly a trip abroad, a trip by water. So maybe you just came back from a vacation near the ocean or overseas or on the water, possibly a cruise. And you did this after a very painful situation. So let's keep going. We'll pull 3 more cards and then we'll do the present. So this is all past energy. And you kind of went into yourself. So I definitely kind of get it like a spiritual awakening with this card, the Hermit. You withdrew into yourself, took some time to heal, possibly from this pain, not knowing where you wanted to go. You might have isolated yourself from others so you could see the light within. Either that, or the other thing I get is the person that you were involved with or that you have come to this reading about for love is going through this or has gone through this in the past. Take it how it resonates. It's not all going to resonate everything that I say. Okay, so next card is Temperance in reverse. So temperance is usually, not sugarcoating, but kind of being gentle about things. Understanding, showing love, showing empathy in situations. But in reverse, it's kind of the opposite of that. Trying to bring good into a situation. Instead, this is just not doing that. Not knowing that you should, but you're not. Or they are. Knowing that maybe they should say something, maybe you were hurt, or maybe you hurt them, and somebody's being stubborn about it. And not bringing empathy, being like, oh, well, it is what it is. There's others. You might be saying that, they may be saying that in the past. But, yeah, there can be plenty of others. There can be billions of others. But they're not you, or they're not them. There's not that spiritual connection. There's not that special love connection. And as we get older in life, and one thing I've learned is, dating and then getting married in my 20s and being married for 28 years and being divorced and trying to date. I only dated briefly 2 people. If it's not there, it's not there. There could be sexual chemistry, but if that's all there is, that burns out fast, that passion, because there's nothing else. So yeah, if that's what you're going to take pleasure in, or that person does, they're just not mature enough to understand that. And, some people, or they've been hurt really bad, and they just won't get into another relationship because they're going to get hurt. They're afraid of suffering or being hurt or losing themselves, getting jealous or losing themselves in a person where they're basically whipped, you know what I mean? And I know people that, yeah, they're in those situations, and I know people that are unhappily married, but I also know people that are very happily married or very happily in a committed relationship where they found the one. And it is possible. And I know it seems really difficult in this day and age, especially if you're older than, you know, you're not in your 20s or you're not an older teenager, an adult teenager, or in your 20s or even in your 30s. The older you get, the less chance you have at finding somebody that's the one for you. But don't ever sell yourself short to somebody. You know, I mean, just because somebody, you know what I mean, and I've dated it where they think that they are just, you know, the most interesting man in the world or the most attractive man in the world, and you know what? They're a person. They're just like, you know, they're not immortal. Yes, we're a spiritual being, but if they're not even spiritual and they have nothing in common with me, what good is that going to do me? What is that going to do me except for maybe you're going to have your pleasure for a little while, sexual pleasure, but that wears off. It's great, but it wears off. And if there's no other links there, whether it's spiritual, romantic, having things in common, intellectual, eating the same foods, having things that you would, you know, you can be very different, but you can also have a lot in common. You can be the yin to somebody's yang. But being able to unite those differences and accept those differences and work on a connection. And so many people are afraid to do that, or they don't want to do that because they're afraid. Because it all boils down to fear. Because if somebody really wanted to have a connection with you, they would. If somebody really wants to take an interest in you, then they would. If they're not taking an interest in you, if they're not showing you that you are worthy of their time and attention, then you need to walk away. Absolutely need to walk away from that. And if they want it that bad, and they're worth it, and you allow them in when they come back, if somebody hasn't filled their seat, or possibly filled it better, because that's usually how it works when somebody discards you. Then that's their loss. So never worry about that. And if you're acting in that energy, know also that if you act like that towards somebody else, which is kind of heartless, and especially if you know right from wrong and you're still doing the wrong thing, or you're brushing things under the carpet, or you're not doing what you should in a situation, a romantic situation, shame on you. But, you know, if you're waiting for a person like that, I say don't wait. Don't wait. If they're worth it and they value you that much, they'll come around. And if you decide that you want them in your life still, you don't have to be harsh about it. And yes, you can still be friendly with people that you dated, as long as it's not serious. But, you know, you should only wait. If they're not giving you what you expect out of the situation or what you want, then you move on. You move on and you try. Doesn't mean that you have to date a million people. It means that you have to find somebody that values you, that you can value also in a mutual situation. Whether it's dating, it's a long-term relationship, it's a little fling, whatever it is. You have to keep that in mind. Because even if you're having a fling and you both agree to it, or you're just dating, non-committal, and you're okay with that, you both have to have the same sense of integrity, not to intentionally hurt somebody else. And the minute you start hurting, or the minute one person is not being truthful about the agreement that you make, that's when things start to spiral and you take a nosedive. So anyway, past energy, Knight of Wands. So yes, this could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or you could be. And they might have came in all flirtatious and everything in the past. And I kind of feel like you might be wondering, what the hell do I do? I get the energy of like, do I really want this again? Do I really want to go through this? Is this person worth it? Because they certainly haven't treated me like I've been with it. They've been a playerish energy. They've been flirtatious. But I just don't know if I can trust them, because they've let me down in the past. So you could be in this energy, a person could be in this energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, doesn't have to be. So let's go on. So now we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So somebody could be, or they're viewing you one way or the other. They're either viewing you like you are not at their level financially, or they're viewing themselves that way, which I kind of get that. You know, I just came back from my mini vacation. I took a couple of days and went to Cape Cod. It's a beautiful island, if you know the U.S., New England, off of the Cape called Nantucket. And it's known for its whaling history, Moby Dick, all that stuff. It's a beautiful place. It's like the Hamptons in New York. It's a very quaint island, very, very expensive, very like lifestyles of the rich and famous type, but not in a pretentious way. Kind of a low-key, laid back, but I'm on the island and I'm just an average person. I'm not a millionaire. I work for a living. I actually work. I have my own business. And I also work online. So actually got 3 to 5 things going on at all times. Multiple things. I have multiple businesses actually. But I kind of put them all in one basket. So I work for a living. This is what I do. And I have another job in my profession. And I took the boat over from the Cape to, it was a ship actually, a steamship, over to Nantucket, and this was a solo trip because I just needed, it's like a spiritual retreat for me. So this was a solo trip, and some people I met there were absolutely wonderful. And I was talking to a gentleman that owned a jewelry store that had a beautiful dog, and he didn't treat me differently at all. And he was the owner of the jewelry store, and it wasn't like there was a love connect. There was nothing like that at all. We were just talking. And, he didn't treat me differently than, and he might have been a millionaire. Who knows? But, so many people over there, you don't know who is and who's not. And I've known people, we used to have these, when I grew up, in my town where I grew up, near Boston, Mass, we had these 2 elderly sisters. I can't remember their name. And they lived in this ramshackle house right as you entered Stoneham coming south. And they had no vehicle. They would walk to the store. They were ancient when I was a kid. They had to be like in their 80s, which isn't ancient today, but back then. These ladies, had the white hair and the buns and the long dresses, and they would walk to the stores. They lived in this ramshackle house. And when they died, I guess they were like millionaires, multi-millionaires. So if you saw these women on the street, you would think that they were like bad ladies or homeless or anything. It doesn't matter what you have. It's what's in your heart. It's your integrity. But a lot of times people act that way, where they don't feel worthy. You know, I work really hard. I've dated people that are on a lower level financially most of the time. And I've dated people that are on my level or a little bit higher too, and very high when I was young. When I was in my early 20s before I got married, I dated a very wealthy individual that owned nightclubs and a beautiful yacht, and I used to drive that yacht every weekend. We used to go on that boat, and we had the best time ever. And he wasn't from this, he was from a different country. But he lived here. He lived here for years. And he never treated me any differently. He actually treated me very well. It just, the relationship didn't work out. But you know, nobody should treat you, and you shouldn't treat anybody like there's something wrong with them because of their finances. Some people, like me, I'm self-made. I've had to work for everything I had, and my family was fine. They weren't poor, but they were, you know, upper middle class. I didn't get anything from anybody. I worked for everything in my life, and I've been working since I was about 14 years old in a regular position, not babysitting. That's before that. So, you know, when you've been working that amount of time and you know, go through stuff, you learn how to work with your money and do what you can. And I'm very fortunate, even though I'm not a millionaire or I'm not wealthy. I'm very fortunate for what I have. But I noticed that nobody treated me different. And that's the difference between people that are really, really wealthy and people that want to act like they actually have something when they don't. And wealthy can mean all kinds of things. Wealthy can be spiritual wealth, emotional wealth, or financial wealth. So take it how it resonates. But one of you did not feel worthy financially or not have the finances or funds. It doesn't mean that they were being nasty about it, or you. Next card we have is the Wheel. So luck is going to turn. I just dropped the card. Luck is going to take a turn in your favor, finally. So I feel like you're still kind of feeling that lack, whether financially or they are. Luck is going to turn in your favor with this Wheel in romance. So if it's not with this person, it's with somebody else. But you seem to be doing okay over here. You have 9 pentacles. You're just missing that 1 pentacle. So you're financially abundant, you're spiritually abundant. You have friends, you have family that love you, you're just missing that 1 romantic pentacle. But we have the Chariot card next. I'm losing it here. I'm losing my little cloth. So the Chariot is the yin and the yang, the dark and the light energy. It's about balance. It also could indicate travel, but it's like a road opener. So whatever was holding you back romantically or holding this person back romantically, the road is now open. You're moving again. You're moving with this energy, this new moon. You see all these pinks and purples and these beautiful colors and all that light up there, and how that light, that magic is shooting down over this Chariot. So some magical things are going to start to magically work in your favor. And yes, with the wish card next, the 9 of Cups, how beautiful is that? So wish fulfillment, possible travel, road opener, as far as whether it's communication, it's traveling, anything. And then we have the Hanged Man in reverse. So there's still a little bit of idleness in the situation with overthinking and thinking negative thoughts and not seeing the light. It's right there. Being restless. I get a restless energy with this. And uncomfortable. And then we have the 5 of Wands, which is competition. And trying to get that fire, that flame up there. And you see this guy's like grabbing this guy's leg. This one's stepping over this one. They're all trying to grab that big torch, that fire. This could be you, this could be a person that has competition, or you have competition. But it's almost ridiculous, because if you think about it, I look at it like this. I compete with nobody. And I don't think anybody should compete with anybody. If someone likes you, they like you. If they're wishy-washy about it, you just keep going. You keep going. Because why am I going to invest time with somebody that's not interested in me? They have to show me that they're interested. If this person is like, oh, I like this one, but I like that one too. Well, you know, this one isn't as pretty, but she has a place in New York. But this one, she's got big boobs, I don't know. And this one has a PhD, and she's gorgeous, and she's really nice. But this one's just great in bed. You know, that's the rationale I'm getting. And this could be male or female. It's all energy. Take it how it resonates, like I said. Why do you want to put up with that? I know who I am. And you have to really know who you are. And you have to really face the fear of, if they move on to somebody else, so what? Who cares? Then they weren't meant for you. They are not at your level, obviously, clearly. They're flighty, you know, or they're very fickle. There's a lot of fickle people out there. And a lot of fickleness and being flighty and stuff it's the ego. They have to feed their ego constantly. They need that continuous attention from somebody. They get bored easy. Do you want somebody that gets bored easy? Think about that. I mean, most people that I know, that there's very few people that don't have an interest, that don't have things that they are into. You know, at least the people that I kind of talk to and I'm friendly with, and people in my family. We all have our hobbies, our interests, things that we do. That kind of open up the doors to new friendships and different people that are more aligned with you and your soul family, whatever. Instead of being with somebody that treats you like you're just an option in competition, or you feel like they are, why bother with that? Like when, you know, we're out of high school. I mean, if you don't want to be in a relationship, then don't be. You know, but this competition is painful. People are stepping on each other over here. That's my kitty cat. She's just wanting to say hello. She hears me talking about her. Hi, kitty kitty. Oh, my good girl. So yeah, there's competition here in some way. I don't deal with competition. Once I see like that I'm in competition, I dip right the hell out of there, because it's like I'm not in my ego, but I know what I bring to the table. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to compete with anybody. And if somebody wants to compete with me, they can go for it. But, you know, have a good time. So anyway, moving on to the future. We have the Two of Cups, so there's an offer of partnership here coming in. Maybe when this guy gets his finances to a girl, you know, it's all energy. That maybe that's what it is they went from this Page of Pentacles in reverse energy to the Nine of Pentacles. And then they're coming in because they just need that one pentacle with the wish fulfillment. But there still is some kind of competition. And I think there's ego involved and overthinking. But in the future, and we'll get Two of Cups, so partnership. I'm going to say this is good for about 2 months. So this beautiful partnership is coming in within the next 2 months. Beautiful, loving partnership. And it's a love offer. If it's not from this person that you're thinking about, it's definitely from somebody else. And we have the Emperor in reverse. So somebody's trying to act like they're an emperor. Male, female, like I said, it's all energy. Somebody could be trying to act like they are an emperor. Or they're, you know, the emperor is the king of kings. So they have all the attributes of each king, all the positive ones. But in reverse, they're not who they say they are. And maybe that's why we get this over here. So just be wary. Be wary of this energy. And then we have the Seven of Cups. Options. So maybe they're just very emotionally immature and they're going to keep looking over their options. Well, this could be you, because this Emperor is in reverse. And then we got romantic communication. Fast-moving communication, Eight of Wands. So something, I get 8 hours, 8 days, 8 weeks, it's going to come into you real fast with messages. It could be this person. Maybe they're going over their options, but they know that they want to give you this beautiful love offer, but they know they're not quite ready, or they've lied in some way, or being deceitful with who they are. And we get the Queen of Swords here. This could be you or another person, but whoever this is, they're truth speakers, they're truthful people. They have a lot of integrity. They see the red flags and the yellow flags and the green flags. They see them all. And they put up with no bullshit. None. This also could be another person that they may have been involved with that's cutting them off as well. And then we have the Empress, upright. So this could be you or your person, but I really think it's you. And it's all energy, like I said. This is the Queen of Queens. But she's upright. So she's loving, nurturing. She's got her stuff together. She's the most beautiful queen in the deck. She's all 4 queens wrapped in one. There is no competition with this woman. She has everything. And she also knows how to love people, because she's pure. She's an anointed one. She's in God's grace. So she's very protected by the spiritual realm, by angels, by God as well. So if this is you, know that all of this shit can't hurt you. And when you realize you're spiritually protected and you walk with integrity, you walk with truth, and you walk under the grace of God, know that good things are going to come into you. And even the bad things, although they may be hurtful and seem relentless sometimes, Know that you'll always have better, because sometimes God and the angels in the spirit realm have a plan for you that's much better than what's being shown to you. Maybe you were brought into this person's life to show them what a true soulmate is, but they're just not getting it. But know who you are and walk in the grace of that and be honored to be who you are. And self-love and self-care is so important, because there's so many people and social media platforms and commercials and everything constantly being thrown at us to bring us down. We're too skinny, we're too fat, we're not good looking enough, we're not young enough, we're not smart enough, we're not rich enough, we don't have the latest fashion, we're not intelligent enough, we're boring. See what I'm saying? Walk in the integrity with kind of focus on you and in what you want in this lifetime, in present and in the future. Then we have the Sun, happiest card in the deck. So happiness is going to come to you, because that's what you deserve. You're the Empress, male or female, all energy. Unless you reverse it, or you're a cross watcher. So we got multiple major arcana here, and 19 could be important. That's the number of the Sun. So pretty interesting reading. See a lot of pain and heartache, but I feel like good things are going to happen. So we're going to do some oracle cards. I'm going to pause for a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the Mystical Kipper deck. I'm going to pull some cards from that. We'll pull 7. Okay. We have short illness. One of you may have not been feeling well. Military person. This person could be in the military, or you could be. Well, this could be something that's holding the connection back. Gloomy thoughts, which I said, overthinking, negative thinking. Gaining a lot of money. So either one of you could be gaining a lot of money right now. House. This could involve a house or property. A little child also could involve children. This person could be married, or you could be married, or in a long-term conjugal marriage type situation. Or it could involve a child in a home, even if they're not. And finally, we have court. So maybe something has to happen, like a divorce, or they're going to court, or you're going to court. You have some kind of a court situation. But it has to do with a house or a little child. Or a child. It doesn't have to be little, but... So those are the Mystical Kipper. We can do... we'll do some Island Time Wellness, Love Oracle, and we'll do some Romance Angels, and then we'll do the Pendulum. All right, let's see. Angel, spirit guides, can you tell me? Collectives, love situation. We're going to pull 3 of these. We have Axe. Breakup, separation. Stay, the pattern. Silent treatment. And abundance. So that's a whole bunch of stuff, a plethora of stuff. I feel like it's been a pattern. There may have been a breakup or a separation in the past. Let's get one more. We're going to get two more, actually. The runner. Runner in a codependent relationship. Fear of intimacy. Listening to ego, like I said. And then we have soulmate, soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. So this could be that Two of Cups, that beautiful love offer coming in the future. So if it's not with this runner person, it's with somebody that's your soulmate. And know that. That they're not the be-all, end-all, even though it's hard because, love is a very strong emotion. And if you're in love with somebody or you have feelings for them, it's not an easy thing. It's very hard to break that cycle and feel that loss. It's like it's almost like a death. It's grief. So if you've had a breakup or a separation, I'm so sorry you've had to go through that. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it could be the happiest moment in your life. At any rate, Romance Angels. We'll pull 3 of these, and then we're going to do the Pendulum. Because I'm really good with the pendulum. I've never shown anybody my pendulum skills online yet. And I sell pendulums, and I sell some crystal jewelry and all kinds of spiritual products. So, like I said, if you connect to my website, I can give you more information. The link is in my description box. And beautiful Romance Angels, what can you tell me about my beautiful collective, about their love life for this new moon energy here? It's kind of been like a little bit of an emotional roller coaster, if you ask me, but it looks like things are going to be moving into a good space in the future for you. One more shuffle. So we have, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So you might have to just release all the negativity, everything that went on in the past. You might have to just let that go so you can see clearly. And if you want to reconcile, you definitely have to do that, because if you don't, you're going to bring that resentment in for a second time. And then it says, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And I really feel like this could be you or your other person. And the free yourself is about negative thinking, overthinking, and being in the ego, and being in fear. And see this? They can easily jump over that fence. And there's a whole world out there for that. So if you're unhappy in any way, and let me just tell you something, okay? And this is just a piece of advice from an older woman. I was married for 28 years, and I was unhappy for about 23 years. I raised my family. I had already had children fast on. When we got married, we had them 16 months apart. And after about the second or third mark of the, third anniversary, I was miserable. And we tried to work on it. I still loved the guy at that time, but I was miserable. And, he thought by throwing money and buying new luxury cars and stuff like that, that was going to keep us together, and spoiling the children. Even though I worked very hard too, I always worked. Even when my children were babies, I worked part-time for about 2 or 3 years. And then by the time my daughter was 4, I think, so she's going to be 30, I worked full-time again. And my middle child was 2. And I still take care of a 23-year-old now, my youngest. But when you're unhappy like that, and you think that you're doing the best thing in a situation, you realize 28 years of your life, in my case, which is ridiculous, went by when I could have been either free and happy making my own decisions and doing what I want, or I could find somebody else to be in a connection with that I actually enjoy spending time with and love. And I honestly, I think my ex-husband felt the same way. You know what I mean? I think he gave it his all, we both did, but after a couple of, by the time we were married for about 10 years, 15 years, the relationship was pretty much over, and it was just very long and dragged out. And a lot to do, at the end of that, the last 2 years was kind of a tragedy situation. But I was happy to be able to have that freedom again in my life. It was like being free from jail, basically. And that was about 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, and I'm the happiest I've been since I was young. I feel happier, I think, because I'm so much wiser than I was before I got married when I was young. I have so much more knowledge, and I have so much more freedom because I'm financially in a better position. It makes a world of difference, but don't stay in something because it's convenient. Don't stay in something because you think the kids are going to benefit from them when they're not. My kids tell me all the time, I wish guys would have got divorced a long time ago. Because you both would have been happier. So just keep that in mind. Whether it's a marriage, a relationship, anything. You don't realize it. People grow in different directions also. So I want you to think of a yes or no question. In the meantime, I'm going to see what the pendulum does. Can you give me a no? So no is back and forth, up and down motion. All right, angel, spirit, guys, can you help me? Can you give me a yes? All right. If you formulated your question, I am going to give you an answer. Collective, angel, spirit guides, what can you tell me? Is this a yes or a no answer? And the final answer is a yes. So whatever your question was, the answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you could please like, share, subscribe. It's an energy exchange. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link is in my description box, as well as my other social media platforms. I'd love to see you on those as well. Sending love and blessings. Namaste.